Hi Libra, thanks for tuning in. My name is Linda. Welcome to this general tarot reading. This reading is for July, but it can be relevant whenever you find it. So I've already shuffled your cards and thrown down your spread. This card represents where you are now. This is the challenge you face. These are the resources you can use. This is what are the hidden forces. This is the potential outcome. And from the runes, we're going to take one for what is the spiritual lesson in your energy at the moment. Okay. This top line is spectacular. Just simply spectacular. You have two major arcana cards here, the Empress and the World. Both of these can talk about pregnancy, actually. For someone, there might be a pregnancy here, and that might be actually something that you really want. So that's exciting. If you've just learned that you're pregnant, congratulations. But for other people here, there's some other layers in this reading with regards to those energies. And I feel like for some people, what it feels to me like is that there's kind of a calling to be a little bit more self-directed. Like with the Nine of Cups as well, I'm going to look at that in this top line together. I feel like the guidance here is that you might be needing to look within yourself or start to bring forward some more of your creative aspirations as far as how you express in the world, not just as an expression, but also specifically as far as how you earn money as well. That's what I feel with this energy. It's like there might have been some conflict in the past around you being able to do the things that you actually love in order to be successful, and feeling like that wasn't possible for you, that there was some conflict around that maybe and that could have come from, parentals or figures in our life that are, authorities or seniors or mentors or people we look up to. Like it could have come from, school teachers or whatever. But there might have been a belief there that says that you can't do what you enjoy to make a living or for your career. And so you might have, distinctly separated in your mind and in your life the things that you do for fun that are creative and bring you joy and pleasure from the thing that you do to make money. And I feel pretty strongly that this reading is giving a nudge towards that it's time to maybe address that belief and start to disassemble it so that you can integrate your world in a way that brings you to a place where you can move forward with your creative talents and skills and what brings you happiness and joy. That's the Nine of Cups, and fulfillment, and find a way to merge everything so that you're not feeling conflicted or split in your day-to-day life. Now you have the World here in the position of what are the hidden forces. So for some people, I'm feeling that energy as a description of like this might be a closing of a cycle for some of you, and that could be challenging. And for some people, that closing of the cycle has to do with your previous way of operating in terms of your employment, or just previous cycles in general. That could also be some friendships or relationships that you might have outgrown, but that you're still nurturing because you're finding it a little hard to move on. And there might also be some conflict around that. Like you might be feeling that you owe people your loyalty because you've been with them for so long. But on one level, you might actually be really bored, actually, of that type of an interaction with the certain group of people that you've been friends with for a long time. Now on this bottom line here, I feel like there's more to talk about there, but I'm going to move on and see if there's anything after I cover the rest of the cards and come back to it. But in this position here of what are the hidden forces, also could be interpreted as the things you cannot see. You have the Four of Swords here in reverse. I feel that for some of you, this top line here it's tied in there. It's tied in, right? Like this is about being stagnant or being mentally exhausted, like overthinking something. You have the Five of Swords here as well. It's also in reverse. I'll get to that in a second. But I'm feeling that this energy here of your guides, your higher self, the people that are helping me provide these messages to you are suggesting here that it's time to break free or let go of some old overthinking patterns that are kind of contributing you to keeping you in something that you've outgrown, that you don't want to be involved in anymore, whether it's a work pattern or relationship patterns that you've been in for some time. There's like this feeling here that you've thought about it too much, you've been in it too much, you've been doing it too much, and now you're at this place where there's a little riskier of stagnancy setting in. And with that, I would say, like, on this top line, as I said, it looks really spectacular. But how I feel for some people watching this reading, you might actually be going through some turmoil in your life because things are getting shaken up. And that's what happens when there is a potential energy for something, but you are refusing it, or you are repelling it, or pushing it away, or resisting it, because you are in a specific state of mind or frame of mind, and your thought patterns are kind of keeping you held in a certain way. You following what I'm saying? So while this looks spectacular, for some people you might not be feeling that you might not be feeling like your life is looking spectacular right now, because you're having some challenging and difficult energies to deal with. But that's because life is offering you a beautiful new area to move into, but you're stagnating and you're stuck in where you are, and you're finding it hard to overcome your mental tracks, or the places where your mind goes as far as how you are seeking to solve a problem mentally. That's what this bottom line is saying. Like, you're stuck in a specific pattern about how you're thinking about your problem, or how you're dealing with, not your problem, but how you're dealing with your situation. And the message here is pretty clear. It's time to shift out of those perspectives, or that way of looking at things, and look for new ways to view or perceive the situation that you're in. And I think that's why they've given me this top line of cards here. It's like you're stuck in a certain way of thinking about things, but you haven't actually seen the opportunity that's in front of you. This is presenting here as a wonderful, amazing opportunity in front of you that will bring together in a full circle kind of way your hopes and wishes, your dreams and desires, your creative talents and skills, the options that you have in front of you that you're not looking at, but which is actually what you are manifesting. You've been manifesting this, but you can't see it because you're thinking in an old way. You're maintaining a pattern of thinking, or a pattern of behaving, or a pattern of relating that you've already outgrown, because you've been putting in a lot of work on your development, on your growth. So this opportunity is showing up for you, but you might not be able to see it because you're still thinking glass half full. That's how I'm seeing this bottom line. And the Five of Crystals in the Voyager deck is coming out here in the position of your potential energy, and it's in reverse. And in the upright position, it's called negativity. So again, that's telling me that the potential outcome of this energy is for you to break free of an old way of thinking that's keeping you small, that's keeping you limited, that's keeping you stuck in something that you don't want to be in. Now let's take a look at this rune. Excuse me. I don't know it off by heart. This one looks like, I think it's the Thorn, if I remember correctly. I'm just going to pull it up here in my notes. Yeah, it's called Thurusas, and it represents a thorn. That's what I thought. I'm just going to read it out to you. It says, reactive force, directed force of destruction and defense, conflict, instinctual will, vital eroticism, regenerative catalyst, a tendency towards change, catharsis, purging, cleansing fire, fertilization, sexuality. It's all the things I've been talking about here, right? So how I'm seeing this is, again, like, your life is being catalyzed right now by situations that are presenting. But you might not be able to see it for what it is because you're in an old mind frame. You're in an old mindset. And the danger here is that if you get stuck in that, and if you don't overcome the stagnancy that you have, regardless, this energy is moving forward. So either you can lean into it and facilitate for yourself a transition which is smooth I mean, it's not necessarily going to be easy, but it's what you want, right? So it could be smooth if you work with the energy and move forward in a way that kind of cooperates with what's there. You know, you've got to lean into it. You have to lean into it. You have to come out of your comfort zone and lean into the energy that's presenting so that you can actually receive the benefits of the opportunities that you have manifested this, right? So if you don't overcome your current state of mental processing and the way you're thinking about it, this energy is still going to move forward, but it'll be more of a struggle. It'll be more of a struggle, and it'll come about in a more not dangerous way. That's not the right way to put it, but like it'll be more challenging. That's all I could say. It'll be more like, instead of the world, you would have a Tower card here, for example, which would come about as a kind of shocking event that catalyzes you. Because like I said, this energy is happening anyway. The catalyzation has already occurred. The catharsis is already happening. The purging and cleansing is already happening. You just need to let go and move forward with it and step into the new energy that's presenting. You need to like change your vibrational force. Like the frequency of your energy is based on how you're thinking and feeling, right? If you're in this space of worry and anxiety and resentment or stress or anxiety or irritation or whatever about your situation and how things are for you, then that's what you will experience. But if you shift your energy into feeling and thinking about what brings you joy and trusting your own creative abilities and trusting that you have a very good support system, even if you don't have a good support system in your physical reality, the energetic support system that is supporting you from the unseen world is very strong here. It's very strong. You have great guidance and angels, whatever you call those, whatever you call that energy, whatever language works for you, you know, angels, guides, masters, the energy that is in the unseen world that is facilitating this transition for you is very strong, and it's very loving, and it's very compassionate, and wants you to do well. It wants you to succeed. It wants you to be happy. It wants you to do the things that you enjoy. So it's about getting on board with that and getting on the same page instead of resisting and pushing back against it. Yeah, if you continue to avoid and resist the changes that are happening, you will definitely suffer more. It'll be much harder for you. It'll be under a state of conflict and defense and something potentially dangerous or something that's has a kind of destructive force, because the shift is already occurring, right? The energy is already occurring. So if you resist it, it'll come about in a more complicated way, in a conflicting way, in a it'll be more of like a forceful energy rather than you. Like I said, if you lean into it, you're going to be able to work with the momentum of what's already here rather than pushing back against it. So make it easier for yourself, Libra. This energy is already here. Work with it. Acknowledge it. Lean into it. Match your vibration to it so that you can have a more easeful or an effortless and graceful transition into a new cycle. Because this cycle that you're in is closing. That's what the world means. The world is the last card from the major arcana. So it's the end of a cycle. It's the end of a long cycle. And there's something new being reborn here. Tap into your fertile, creative, divine feminine force, no matter what your gender is. Tap into your abundance consciousness. Tap into a state of joy, satisfaction, harmony with everything. And that's what will bring you forward into this new space with a lot more effortlessness and grace. Okay, Libra. Pretty sure that's it from me for this reading. I'm just checking over. It really is about your mental space, right? This 4 and 5 of swords here at the bottom of the reading is really important. Take note, pay attention, go back and watch that again and listen to what I was saying there about changing the way you think about things and having a vibrational shift. That's going to help you a lot here. All right, friends, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading.